What's up, guys? Jeff from Texas Moto Works, and color me stoked today because I think I'm finally figuring out. I know I am. I've figured out. I've conquered the dual disc brake conversion on the Softail, and it was just a lot of figuring out. And there's some information out there on the internet on how to do it, but did I do it the right way? I don't know, but it sure turned out neat. Let's take a look at it. All right, so the first order of business was cleaning your camera, Jeff. Jeez. The first order of business was getting the fork situation handled. So obviously the 84 to 99 Softails came single disc, so there was a mount for the disc on that side, but there was nothing here. I searched far and wide, a lot of conflicting information. In retrospect, I could have just swapped out this tube with a touring bike tube, but at the time when I was trying to figure everything out, I couldn't get information whether my existing upper tubes would work with the sliders or not. So it took a long time to find, but I finally found a fork that'll fit my triple trees that was dual disc, and there's not a lot of them out there. I actually stumbled accidentally on the ad for it, and the time all the way up until it got here, I was convinced it just wasn't going to work right, but it did. It fit my triple tree perfectly. What I did have to do though is because on the old forks I had the White Brothers lowering kit, so I had to swap that over, and then I put the parts that came out of this into my old fork. I'm going to sell that, but I'm kind of glad I just swapped the entire fork, because before, when I was getting ready to do after I put the White Brothers kit in it, it would clunk, and I don't know if that was me not installing the White Brothers kit correctly, or if it was just old sliders in there, because I didn't change the sliders, I just changed the springs. And there's this little short spring, and I had it below this other short spring, and I might have had that correctly. So yeah, it very well could have been my doing that created it to clunk. But anyway, the new forks are so nice, bike ride's so smooth. So getting that out of the way, having the new forks with the mount, the next step was getting a caliper that fit. Now these are the new ones, and they look beautiful. And the way that I had to do it was I found the calipers, the 4-piston calipers. I originally tried with the stock Harley 4-piston calipers that came on the later bikes, but they're a closer bolt pattern. What I had to do to get these to work was get these, they're really neat actually, get these adapters that go into the original, they fit into the original holes, and then they have holes for the new caliper. And it just looks so cool compared to that hideous, terrible, ugly thing. So it's funny, once I get both calipers on here, and there's the second one, I'll have 8 pistons up front as opposed to having 1. So it should stop a whole heck of a lot better. The next step of the puzzle was figuring out how to run the brake lines for it, and I needed to put a new master cylinder. So they call the stock Softail master cylinders, they call them a 9/16, and I had to put on an 11/16, and that kind of threw me because I didn't know if they were talking about the bolt or what. But basically it's the inner chamber inside the master. Took care of that. So this is a 9/16 master cylinder. I repainted it. I got to clean up the bolts right here, but this will fit perfectly. These are kind of weird how they fit. They fit in, they kind of tuck into the switches, and the whole bars on these are kind of weird. The wires from the switches run inside the handlebar and whatnot. But anyway, this is the 11/16, and then last part of the puzzle, and I found this company, and I think they're in, they kept replying to me in Swedish. So I don't know if they're a Swedish company, I don't know if they're a Canadian company, but they're called speedingparts.ca. I can't remember. But anyway, what I wanted to do, I had a couple of issues to tackle. One obviously was getting both the brake lines to both calipers. I originally figured I would just do a double banjo bolt up here and then run 2 separate lines. And what I also wanted to do was run a brake light switch, because the stock Harley brake light switch, I think it was a mechanism down here and it worked off pressure. Well, I wanted to run a pressure switch up here and then rewire that so that I had front brake light. I have rear brake light. I just wanted front on it. But what I could not find was a double banjo with the pressure switch. They do not exist. I looked. So what I changed, you can find a single banjo one. So what I changed was I'm going to do a single banjo brake light switch here, single line. This is terrible how this is ran. That's my fault. But it's single line, and basically what it'll do is it'll meet the throttle cable, curve around here, and then it'll come down to this fitting right here. And then on both sides of the bike, there are these that'll have a single line braided that'll go to each caliper. It's gonna look trick. Am I proud of myself right now? Yes, I am. It was a lot of work to get this to work. And keep in mind, guys, I'm still at heart, I'm a Japanese bike guy, and I'm learning Harley stuff as I go along. So anyway, I'm just waiting. I'm gonna put the new calipers and the brackets and everything. I kind of have to get crafty with spacers, because it's gonna need a spacer right here, and then it's gonna need a couple of spacers. It's gonna need just washers basically here, because if you go all the way in with this one, it wants to hit the disc, and it is really close. I mean, yeah, it's tight. But oh, I just realized, look, I have, what a clown. Look at that. And this is just a mock-up, so I'm only a partial clown, but see, I got both brake pads on the outside of that. You know what? That might be my problem. I'll bet you having the brake pad over here where it's supposed to be probably brings this up tight against here. Probably don't need a spacer there. But we'll go along. I think I'm going to do blue Loctite on those, just because brakes falling off, never a good thing. So anyway, I'm really close, guys. It's fine that I don't have the brake lines yet, because my damn garage door is broken, so I couldn't get this thing out to show it off with the new brakes anyway. But I think after that's done and I get the brake light switch settled and already got the carb thing taken care of and the new pipes, the last thing to do will be to swap that one over to one of those beautiful calipers. They are just gorgeous. I spent 10 bucks extra and got the chrome ones. JMP Cycles, who was that I got those from? No, those are Ultima. And I know, you guys watch my other videos, I've raved about Ultima. They make some great stuff. That is Ultima, and these beautiful pipes are Ultima. But I'll probably retrofit this and do one of the calipers on it, and I don't know what that's going to entail. I don't know if, and I can tell you right now by looking at it, it's not going to bolt on. I think I remember seeing that you need a different one of these carrier. So anyway, baby steps, we'll get through it. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching this long video. Take care.